which is a country western dance. So everybody was swinging each other around, having a good old time at the square dance. So they're all wearing their, you know, dance costumes, and it was a dance. And the middle part that slows down a little bit goes. Oh, good job. You just jumped right in there. That part is a couple that are dancing together and they fall in love during their dance. And then it goes back to the regular. So the dance idea was very good, and then they go back to square dancing again. So.
Yeah, it's been done by several ballet companies. They've done actual ballets. Also, those of you, I don't know if I've shown it recently, the Canadian Brass. They have a whole brass quintet arrangement of this, and they wear costumes as like cowboys, and they have little horses and everything, and the tubas, you know, laying on the floor playing, and I mean, they actually act out while they're playing rodeo, and it's very creative. So I'll have to dig that out of my archives.
So no bunnies?
All right, I would like for you to demonstrate, because she was doing a lot of neat things on the violin when she was playing rodeo, and one thing was called double stops. Can you maybe stand out in front of them and tell them what it is and how you do it?
So the shape of my bridge makes it possible for me to play one string at a time, or two strings at once. And those are called double stops. When I'm playing two strings at the same time, it's a double stop, and they're very common in fiddle tunes and like this Copland that I just played. So I'm actually playing two notes at the same time, like I'm two different violins.
Yeah, and can you explain pizzicato to them too?
Sure. Pizzicato is when instead of using my bow, I use my finger to pluck the string. So I can.
Can you do two strings at the same time too? Can you do?
Or pizzicato, yes.
Yeah.
It's kind of.
It's harder.
You just have to do it quickly so that they sound together. So you can hear the other string as well playing at the same time.
And you notice she's still holding her bow while she's plucking. And do you have a mute?
I do. I have a mute on right here. Okay, so this is without the mute. And this is with a mute. So this will make it. So do you guys have mutes on your instruments?
Yeah, the brass do. And that fits right over the bridge and it mutes the sound.
So it's not stopping the string, it's actually stopping the bridge from vibrating. So this little piece of wood here is the bridge, and it's actually not glued down, so if I take the strings off, the bridge will come off too. It's being held down by the strings. And the mute is stopping the vibrations on the bridge to make my sound quieter. And then I just slide it right back. It still lives on the violin, but now it's not on the bridge anymore. And yes, I can do it while I'm playing. It's a little tricky.
Right.
So I do it in between. So.
Well, the trumpets have to do that real fast, so. And notice there's a little tuning screw right there, because remember she said the E string is the smallest and it goes out of tune the most. So while she's playing, she can do tuning and not have to move her pegs.
And it'll turn it just a little bit. It's a fine tuner.
Right,
whereas the pegs turn a lot.
And can you tell them what, does anybody know what the bow hair is made out of?
Oh, they do.
I don't know if they know.
Yes, it's horsehair.
I thought it was goat hair.
No, it's horsehair. But nowadays they have a lot of synthetic hairs that are not real horsehair. But if it is actual horse hair, it's from the mane of the horse, and it doesn't hurt the horse. It's just like when you get a haircut. They cut the mane of the hairs off of the horse and wash it and bleach it. That's why it's white, so it gets bleached. So whatever color the horse was, it's not anymore. It's always white on the bow. And yes, made of horsehair.
Yeah, there's a screw on the end of the violin, a bow, that when she's done playing, she loosens it and loosens the tension so the hairs don't all fall out overnight. And then when she plays, she tightens it so she can make the sound.
So when I tighten it, it pulls the hairs tension
Yeah,
here.
see
so
how
that
and then she
when I
loosens
loosen
it.
It's basically for the stick, so that the stick doesn't get warped. Because if it's holding the stick tight all the time, then it gets warped.
Break.
But then the hairs are loose, and I put it away that way, and then I tighten it when I'm.
And then she puts a special material on her bow hair to make it go across the string. Anybody know what that is, Samantha?
I know it's called. It's resin.
Rosin.
Yep,
You're
here it is,
close.
right here.
Isn't that?
And before she plays, she puts that on her bow hairs. What's the rosin made out of?
It is tree sap, actually, so it depends. It might be pine, but they've cooked it down and made it into a solid. So it's solid, but it's sticky a little bit. So if you feel it, it's sticky, and it goes onto the hairs to help the hairs grab the string. So it's kind of like chalk if you're a gymnast and you use chalk for friction to be able to grab
Right,
on.
and-
Don't they
It's
put
kind of
that
like
on
that.
baseball bats?
Pine tar.
Yeah, something similar to
It's
that.
like,
And also, I wanted her to talk about the parts of the violin, like
Okay.
the necklace.
I'm gonna get my kids
Okay.
over to my room.
Okay.